Thanks for staying with us. You're still on to Good Morning Nigeria on the network service of the NTA. It's now time for newspaper review.
And Chukwudi Obaja joins us here in the studio for newspaper review. Good morning and good to see you.
How are you?
Let me grab mine.
Grab what? If you'd like, you can dress like the future young Mayanaba of Nembe. You're not going to become a River State ruler. How are you, my dear Demola?
I'm doing great. And the Ramadan and the Lent starts today.
There's a collabo.
And, I hope you are going to key into them. One of the, I mean, you said you're a Christian, right?
You've started again.
No, I'm just trying to remind you that Lent starts today.
Pastor Demola.
He said he's a Christian. What we were debating was whether he goes to church. Well, let's begin. Let's begin the newspaper review. Let's begin the newspaper review.
Newspaper review.
And I would like to lead with the leadership. Now, what looks like the top story here is SCF kicks as reps align with Senate on e-transmission manual backup. That story is on page 4. And with the rider, Amechi, opposition leaders protests political deception. That's according to Wike. You get details of that on page 4. And just above that story, in that black tiny strip, Reverend Jesse Jackson was a great servant leader. That's according to President Tinubu, and you get details of that on page 7. Above that story, Dangote demands National Forum on Power to rescue Nigeria's industries. Once no power, no growth. That's on page 7 as well. Above the nameplate, El Rufai spends second day in EFCC's custody. It's on page 4. And Ramadan begins today, says Sultan. Ramadan 2026 timing, day 1. That's on page 7. And to the side piece, Congress's Ondo APC chair attacked at party meeting. Governor Yedatiwa denies sponsoring thugs. That story is on page 24. Health Ministry enforces 8-year tenure, orders immediate retirement of directors. That's on page 16. Bandits abduct 6 travelers on Naka, Makurdi Road. It's on page 7. And on page 25, pension fund assets rise by 4.94 trillion naira in 1 year. Okay, and the last story I'll take from here. Witness narrates how Owo Catholic Church terror attack was planned, executed. And you get details of that on page 4. And that takes me to the blueprint. Of course, the lead story here also has something to do with Ramadan. 2027 Ramadan overlap. NAS cuts election notice by 60 days. Passes hybrid electoral act bill. Lawmakers in rowdy session. INEC left with December 2026, January 2027 options. You get details of that continuing on page 8. Above that story and just below the nameplate, FCT election to be transmitted from polling units. That's according to INEC, and details on page 16. Consumers to smile as analysts predicts possible deflation rate cut. That's on page 19, and it's in business. And in sports, para badminton, Bolaji rises to world number 1. That's on page 32. And getting to the side piece, Governor fingered as crisis rocks Ondo APC. Thugs beat chair. Others. And the rider, leave governor out of it, says ODSG. That's Ondo State government. And coming down the page, of course, the picture story details the rowdy session at the House of Representatives yesterday during the Electoral Act Amendment Bill debate. National industrial policy will return. National industrial policy will turn Nigeria to production economy. That's according to Tinubu. Excited at Dangote Cement's 900 billion naira tax. And to the final set of stories, Bogu residents relocate to Benin Republic. That's on terrorism. It's on page 7. On page 15, Sultan directs commencement of Ramadan today. And on page 15 as well, Plateau, bandits kill 2, injure 1 in Kanam, LG. And finally, Dangote signs $400 million equipment deal to fast-track refinery expansion. That's on page 20.
Okay, I have the Vanguard newspaper with me, and just above that nameplate, we have the manufacturers' agri sector face up to 60% interest rate. Details on page 19. Release Kanu or return him to Kenya. Southeast monarch tells Tinubu. No equivalent between Kanu and Igboho. The presidency replies. So the details of that story can be found on page 13. Lent Ramadan begin today. Tinubu, Trump, Harris, others mourn as U.S. civil rights leader Jesse Jackson dies at 84. Details of that story can be found on page 7. 2027, Reps cave in, back Senate on Electoral Act amendment. Details of that story can be found on page 5. Tinubu unveils Nigeria industrial policy, demands speedy implementation. Details on page 9. Dangote signs $400 million equipment deal to fast-track refinery expansion. Armed men abduct 6 travelers on Makodi Naka Road. Demand 100 million naira ransom. Nigeria orders ignore our judgment. ECOWAS court lament. Details of that story can be found on page 9. Chooks.
Let me quickly talk about us. Are we really ignoring ECOWAS court judgments and all that? If we're doing that, I don't know how much we are shoring up the protocols we have signed to make life more harmonious within the sub-region. It is something we need to listen to and find out where we need to readjust, because the optics, the perception that comes from it is not one that helps the continent, that helps the sub-region in this case. Why would we ignore ECOWAS court pronouncements? If you don't like a court pronouncement, there are always things to do.
Appeal.
In the case of ECOWAS court, is there a higher place to appeal to and all that? Whatever it is, follow proper procedure, but let it be seen that you obey
The court orders.
Court orders. Once people stop obeying court orders, you see chaos, his mother, his brother, his sister, his father. Bedlam everywhere.
Might becomes right.
Yeah, might becomes right.
In the words of
that's, the other time we said that's when the argument of force, overwhelms the force of argument. Force of argument is arguing and all that. The argument of force is violence. Anyway, so we have to tell ourselves the truth about that.
And the National Assembly, the rowdy session at the House of Representatives and
Victor, I don't know whether
Electoral Act.
I don't know whether not because of my height, but at least I think I'm taller than Demola. I don't know whether it's because of my height that some people don't listen to me. Is it not what we said 3 weeks ago that they have settled for the end of the day? E-transmission where possible, backup. It was inevitable.
Yeah.
Because broadband coverage in this country, whether you like it or not, is not anything you're going to be very happy about. That's the truth. And even in places where you have the internet working, on election day there might be a glitch. So when there's a glitch, what do? You're going to become a witch and make it work? Men should not force themselves into becoming slaves to laws and their expectations and all that. Talk according to your capacity. Stop pretending. Where we are is where we are. Victor's heart is not going to change it. So I think we should just tell ourselves the truth sometimes so we can move forward in life.
But
they have settled for what we said would happen.
I think why it's such a big issue is that it ties into transparency. It ties into the integrity of the ballot. Because those who argue it keep saying that, look, we have to do this, just so that you are sure that, okay, this is what you get at this end, this is what you get at the other end. That's the argument. I agree with you, of course, that
I don't come
broadband, broadband is not where it should be.
I don't come here to argue with you.
But the problem is that
I enjoy the newsroom I left a long time ago. You give it to me here, and you know I'm a very good arguer.
Talking about the broadband.
This is what you're talking about, Victor. What you're saying is that if the policeman is not there, I'm free to commit a crime. Enforcement, enforcement, enforcement. That is what Nigerians talk about. They don't talk about obedience, which is the real integrity. Integrity is not located in a ballot paper. Integrity is located in the mind of the man who's going to use the ballot, use the booth.
You will always have outlaws everywhere in the world.
Outlaws should not be in preponderance. We should stop emphasizing enforcement in this country. That's why people tell you the courts are not working. Courts are not working. The judges and the magistrates, are they not your sons and daughters? Come to think of it. Sometimes they may blend with society. Please, I'm not abusing the men in wig. You know, we always respect them.
The truth.
You know? So it is from, these people are your community members. I keep on saying here, you don't bring politicians to reform in Abuja. You're deceiving yourselves. They will be what they were in your village. Africa should wake up to truth. A good man is a good man, and it is still good to be good.
Anywhere.
All right. Bros.
Anywhere.
Dangote is pushing about 400, is it million or billion dollars, you know. When I hear Dangi Baba stories or Baba Gada Zulum, I saw another man I liked yesterday, the minister of humanitarian...
Sununu.
Oh my God. I saw a normal, ordinary man. I've not met him, but I have this reading character. I like the man I saw. I didn't see a minister on him. Yes, the clothes looked quite, but the man showed me a humble character. I pray that that's what he is in real. So a good man is a good man. Nigerians should go back to being good. All the things I hear in this country, there are things that make me say, this is not whom we have always been.
So everything boils down to character.
Character, my dear Demola. Character, character, character. So Nigerians want enforcement.
So what character?
People in your car even want you to beat the traffic light in this country.
Yeah.
They are quarreling with you because you didn't beat the traffic light. What do we really want from life?
When you're in a taxi with other people and the driver happens to obey the traffic light, people will just be wondering, move now, or move now. You know? And I will be looking at them and say,
what they are doing is, it is no longer good to be good. Yeah. And any country that thinks like that does not make progress. You know?
All right. What character is this one in Ondo? There seems to be a brewing crisis. Governor fingered as crisis rocks Ondo APC. Thugs beat chair, others. And that story is also here. Congress's Ondo APC chair attacked at party meeting. Governor Ayedatiwa denies sponsoring talks.
I know that politicians are very good at organizing talks. I mean, people you call talks, motopark towns and all that. They are
one of the best things.
They are better organizers than you. In terms of managing people, politicians do far better than you. Whether they are putting them to evil use, it is you, the reporter, that should take out a camera and go and prove it. Get sound bites and let people form up their opinion, their judgment from your story. We can't sit here and know what Ayedatiwa did and what he didn't do. But let me say that Nigerian politics deserves some cleansing to some extent. I think so. It's not do or die. Maybe that's why the likes of Demola and Chukwudi will never make it into politics, because they're always thinking normally. When you're in politics...
What about Victor?
That boy, I'm not too trusting.
He doesn't think number.
I don't know where he is.
Anyway,
try me.
You know,
okay.
So that's it. I heard the thing about Sunday Igboho and Kanu.
Yeah.
I am one of those who are appealing to government to find a political solution to the Kanu matter. But then I'm also one of those who say, Kanu, please, you should talk like somebody whose case needs to be resolved. I've always said it here. Igboho and I didn't see at any point where brother-on-brother violence happened because Igboho was arguing for Yoruba nation. but we know what happened in the southeast.
East, yeah.
And I'm saying that the southeast people are so important to us that the earlier that quarrel is settled, the better for not just the Igbo man, but Nigeria as a whole. Shetima went to commission the about one that the electricity does not go off, and said, you are the Jews of Africa. Without industrialization, it's not going to work here. That's a VP from the north talking up. So do you need people to tell you how important you are? Please do things that will also shore up that importance, and let us all dine on the same table.
All right. With the death of the U.S. civil rights leader.
Oh, Jesse Jackson. He cried in 2008 when Obama was, in 2009 when Obama was being inaugurated. Jesse Jackson will remain an icon in black civilization. He is one of those few people that saw Martin Luther King on the podium, you know.
Not that so, he didn't just say he worked closely with him.
Yes, he worked closely with him.
Yeah.
But the point I need to stress here is that at a point, Jackson was almost winning the Democratic Party primaries.
Domination, yeah.
You know what was it Time Magazine or Newsweek? It came out to the banner, the campaign to stop Jackson, because they felt that a black man clinching the Democratic presidential nomination was not going to be a good argument against an inevitably white Republican candidate. What we never see for this world, but we thank God for today.
Obama proved
the audacity of hope eventually resulted from it. He cried tears of joy when Obama was being inaugurated. Great human being, any day. Jesse Jackson.
And ended up criticizing some of Obama's own policy as being what they preached against.
Yeah.
Well, you cannot wish that away. Anyway, what else again? We have these armed men abduct 6 travelers on Makurdi Naka Road.
That is the regular news. We're not going to normalize in thinking, because that is bad. That is obnoxious. That is wicked. That's inhuman. Whatever it takes, see something, say something, Demola and Victor, and let the security people take it from there. I think that the coming of the Americans, after about 1 year, will begin to rub off on many things.
It will.
Because
definitely.
What you need more than any other thing now to fight, I'm not a military specialist, helicopters and drones, where you can locate crime easily from a very low altitude and be able to call attention to it. So if that equipping is achieved, deterrence will be enhanced.
All right, Chukwudi Kolubaja, thank you very much for your time. Let me leave you with this, just so that you go.
Like a parrot.
This AKU, yeah, the parrots, and he said, gunmen execute 50-year-old man before mother and son. And the other parrot says, that's a definition of barbarism.
Oh, is it really from parrots?
Yes.
Yeah.
How could I have coincided with parrot talk?
We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day, Chukwudi.
You know well.
Our conversation begins after this break. Please don't go away.